am stronger than you can ever hope to be!
My lips are getting chapped, anyway. Hey internet, it's Jessica and welcome back to Seduce Me the Demon War, Matthew's route, and damn, what the hell just happened? All of a sudden, Matthew's mother just turned completely insane and decided that Matthew should take the throne and I'm not good enough to be his fiance and whatever, and she's about to go down with Diana. Wow, I can't believe this route just like keeps turning 360 turns every single time. My god. Anyway, the room became filled with dark energy as Ezra glared hard at Diana, her eyes glowing deadly a gold color. However, Diana seemed to be unaffected by her gaze, returning the venomous look with her cold red eye stare.
Such arrogance! You truly think you can stand against me?
Bitch, it's Diana, she can!
If it means finishing the job and freeing the world from madness, then yes.
Ezra snarled before blue aura enveloped her form. Her eyes began to flicker between her natural eye color to gold as the room adopted an eerie chill.
Then, allow me to clear the field of useless trash.
Whoa, what the heck? Whoa, okay, what I didn't expect was Ezra shooting a blue and black chain at me. A large blade jutted out of the end of the intent to running through me. Before I could scream, however, I was pushed back and fell into the ground, the air in my lungs rushing out and leaving me breathless. What happened? As I managed to look up, I saw Diana standing in front of me, wings splayed out wide behind her, twitching in furious rage. The chain in question had begun to knock away and vanish into the air.
I won't let you touch her.
Yes, Diana! Oh my god!
Has the human world tainted you too? You're defending a human! Yet you claim that I am the one who is mad!
Stop it!
Quiet!
Whoa! With a violent wave of her arm, Ezra casted some sort of black mist over Matthew's mouth. It took physical shape in large blue steel and masked over its shape of a bird's beak formed over Matthew's nose and mouth, completely covering his lower half of his face.
This is for you, Seto. Let me finally give you the world you deserve!
Yo, this is some, like, Cersei Lannister shit. What the hell? Ezra looked back to Diana, rage feeling and glared at gold color over her irises.
I will warn you now, Queen of the Rebellion. You stand against a pure-blooded succubus. Do not think you have any advantage over me. In fact, I am stronger than you can ever hope to be!
My lips are getting chapped. Anyway. Another pure-blooded succubus. I knew Diana was, but I thought she was the only one. How could there been another? Diana's quiet chuckle, however, broke me from my thoughts.
I recognize the strong scent of lilies. At least this fight will be interesting.
Well, I mean, isn't it kind of obvious that she is one too? Is that... No? Okay. Something in Diana's voice changed, shooting shivers down my spine. I recognized her tone in that voice. The cruel Diana was back. The bad bitch, you mean? I love it. However, Diana's hand reached back to me. What was she doing?
Human, give me some of your energy. I don't need much to defeat this woman.
Oh, shit. Okay, I guess. This is the right thing to do, right? I didn't want this to happen, but Diana needed to fight her. Ezra had already enthralled me once, so I knew I was no match for her. I took Diana's hand, feeling her quickly drain of my energy from my body. The taint around her form began to pulsate and glow, slightly new energy in her body. But Diana didn't hold on for long. Diana pulled back on her hand and began to chant quietly, waving her hand in the air by her head.
Enough talk! Die!
The sound of Ezra's word, like a volley chain, rushed forward behind her body and shot themselves towards Diana. Before they could even reach her, however, Diana formed a similar saber in her hand, parrying all of them and knocking them away from her. As they fell, the sun and lifeless change vanished into the ground, making Ezra growl.
You're too slow. All of those years under the Demon Lord's body must have taken a toll on you.
Diana's just throwing shade left and right. I can't.
You insolent bitch!
Jesus Christ. Diana suddenly shot herself into the air and swooped towards the other succubus, raising her saber and swinging to decapitate Ezra. However, all Diana hit was a suddenly vanishing afterimage.
What?
Before my eyes, Ezra appeared behind Diana, floating in mid-air with a large chain ready to slam down on Diana's head. Diana! Diana quickly dodged to the side, knowing what my scream meant. However, the change slammed itself into Diana's left wing, causing her to dip and fall onto the ground. Her body bounced back off of the marble, and she landed on her stomach, knocking the wind out of her.
Ah! A succubus relying on wings? A bit old-fashioned. You really are from Lilith's bloodline to still depend on that method.
Whoa. Diana snarled and looked up at Ezra, gripping her injured wing. It looked broken, twitching in its pain under Diana's fingers. However, the wing quickly reshaped itself and folded properly, as it had never been broken in the first place. Diana smirked as Ezra stared in shock.
It may be old-fashioned, but I make it work.
Woof! With a quip, Diana flew at Ezra again, her wings flapping as she sailed through the air in an accelerated boost. Ezra glared before dispelling her change and flying at Diana in return, meeting her halfway. Both of the women began to brawl and swipe each other in the air, exchanging kicks and punches, and either blocking each other's strikes and dodging them. I, however, looked to Matthew. He was still struggling against the chains around him, pulling roughly one way, then another, trying to find some leeway. His hands were bound to the armrest, leaving him no chance to use his power for summoning anything. This is kind of difficult because I feel like if I go to Matthew, will that like just cause the mother to like go completely insane and kill me or something? Okay, I need to save again. Fuck. Let's just go. I feel like I should wait though. Is it bad? Like, I don't know. I don't know with Matthew's route because Matthew's like all these things that keep happening, it's just like taking me aback and I can't make a decision. Unlike Sam and Eric's route, they were like, for me it was clearly like I knew this is what I had to do. Matthew, I'm very confused about what I should do. Because it just keeps throwing me off. Maybe I should wait till they finish? Okay, let me wait. Diana and Ezra finally shot away from each other, Diana landing near me and Ezra landing beside Matthew.
Enough fooling around. You'll never outmatch me. Just surrender.
Crowing like a proud bird won't convince me of your strength. If you claim to be stronger than me, then prove it!
Yes! Once more, Diana charged at Ezra, zipping through the air like a bullet. From the shadows around Diana, a line of blue chains shot forth and reached out Diana's body. Oh shit! The chains quickly wrapped themselves around Diana's arms and legs, and encircling her neck and waist, squeezing her tightly. A choking garble managed to escape Diana's throat as the chains began to pull her limbs to the opposite directions. My mind oh shit, this is the nightmare! My mind flashed back to the nightmare I had before arriving. Diana was chained in the air and shaped like a star, being pulled apart. However, this time it was Ezra who was pulling the chains. Ezra laughed hysterically as she looked up at Diana's body, seeing the result of her sneak attack.
Such a shame, Princess of Lilith. Do you not like that? I thought you wanted me to prove my strength.
Yo, where's Seto? Every time in the battles, I feel, because she said, remember, just call Seto's name and he'll show up. Where the fuck is he, dude?
What a pitiful sight you are. Is that the best you can do, Princess of Lilith?
With a snap of Ezra's finger, blue bolts of lightning ran down the chains that shot at Diana's form, causing her to release a heavy garbled scream into the air. Diana, no! I had to think of something quickly. I needed to save Matthew and Diana, but were both possible, especially with the berry in the way? My mind instantly thought of Seto. I knew it! See, I told you! Fucking Seto, where is he? He had holy magic, so maybe he had the ability to break the barrier. However, what about Matthew? What if Ezra did something else to him while Seto saved Diana? But then I remember I could summon Matthew to me using his real name, but what if it helped him escape his bonds? There wasn't enough time to decide. I should shout at last. Finally, out of the first name come out of my mind. Oh, come on! You're gonna let me choose either. Is Diana gonna die? I swear. Fuck this game, dude. Who do I call? Matthew or Seto? Oh my god. God damn it! I gotta save again. Shit. Who do I call? Okay. Do I call Matthew? Because, I mean, the Demon Lord is dead, so he doesn't have a control of it, but, like, his mother possibly has a control. If I remember in the dream, in the nightmare that we had, Matthew he wasn't in chains, he was free. So I feel like, is it best to call Seto right now? Because if I do call Matthew, will that nightmare happen? What the fuck? Okay, I gotta call Seto. Let's see what happens. I don't know. Oh my god. Diana was in danger and Matthew wasn't. I know his mother wouldn't hurt him, so I had to get Diana out of the predicament first. As Seto's name reverberated from my lips, a bright light flashed through the room, causing Ezra to cover her eyes and making me and Matthew turn our heads.
What?
Yes, Seto! Okay, the ship! Oh my god! Diana! Okay. As quickly as it came, the light vanished, revealing Seto holding Diana close to his body as she barely managed to stay afloat with her magic. The chains had been broken and were slowly fading as Seto glared intensely at Ezra. She stared back, unsure who she saw.
What is this?
Seto.
The guard didn't reply, only intently gripping onto Diana and doing something with his spear, which he grasped in a white knuckle grip. His body seemed to glow a white color as the white color that spread gently engulfed Diana's body in his hold.
You dare lay your hands on my queen?
Oh, get fucked! He's about to fuck up everybody! Seto raised his spear up like a javelin. Ezra stepped back in fear. The weapon began to animate dangerous golden color in grass, its aura flickering through the air.
Periat celesti bestia!
Oh my god! What's happening? With a strong throw, Seto shot his spear through Ezra and she protectively brought her arms in front of her and formed a blue barrier around her body. The spear blade slammed into the barrier and continued to push against it, trying to reach its target. Oh, God, yes. Alright, remember to subscribe, everybody. The barrier was cracking as the spear attempted to pierce through it, but the cracks would seal themselves together again as soon as they appeared. Ezra struggled to keep it from piercing through the barrier around her. Diana, barely hanging onto Seto, guided them back and towards me. Landing safely on the ground next to me, Diana almost collapsed.
Is that you?
I'm fine.
What about Matthew, dude? However, Diana's eyes rolled into the back of her head and forward as she fell onto Seto's arms. He tightened his hold on her, hugging into her form to him as the eyes began to fill with panic. Diana was out for the count now. The sound of heavy clatter echoed through the chamber as Seto's spear was finally knocked away and fell onto the ground, no longer glowing. Ezra, however, seemed worn out for spending so much energy to defend Seto against Seto's weapon, and the barrier around her faded.
How does a demon have holy magic?
I couldn't believe it. The spear was animating holy magic? Then how was Ezra able to block it and push it away? That's a good question. The light in Ezra's eyes faded as she snarled at Seto before she moved her hands in front of her body again, with a large blue orb wrapped around in black chains towards him. It cut through the air like a bullet-like speed, slamming into Seto and Diana's body before Seto had a chance to look up. No! Oh, did I make a mistake of calling Seto? What did I do? They flew backwards and slammed into the far wall, landing on the ground beside each other with a painful-sounding pair of thuds. Seto! Diana! I looked back at Ezra, both fierce and fearful of her. Ezra sneered at me, stepping down from the throne dais and walking slowly towards me. I felt my body freeze in her gaze. She was enthralling me again. I fought back with my willpower, trying to deny her any control of my form, but I remained as still as a statue, only able to breathe.
You waste of space! Do you really think you can just claim my son? He is about to serve a higher purpose and you are in his way!
Yo, bitch, you're crazy already!
that?
Oh my god! I gritted my teeth, fighting back harder. I could feel the waves of energy rush through me, ordering me to obey her mental commands, but I refused to acknowledge them. I wasn't going to give in to her.
All you are good for is being chained to a bed and milked of your energy like a good little harem girl!
Whoa!
Energy would be able to sustain him for decades!
I stared wide at her, feeling her energy surge through my body and staring at her smirk grow with each step she took towards me. Her eyes were glistening with a sadistic rage.
Maybe that's what we'll do with you. You can be my son's favorite plaything. He'll always have a source of energy and will become powerful enough to completely rule over this world with an iron fist, while you get to live. Would you like that?
My mind began to flash back to the nightmare I had of Matthew staring at me with a cold stare, sadistic gaze, and smile. I had to fight myself from shuddering as I battled against Ezra's hold. Matthew will never listen to you.
Won't he? I've been draining him of his willpower this whole time.
Oh,
He
shit!
won't disobey me anymore.
I made the wrong choice! No! God damn this rude. My heart stopped and I could feel Ezra's hold take over. A spike of fear lowered my resolve. She was doing what? My eyes darted over to the throne, terror clutching my heart. He was going to obey her. I looked over at Matthew to see change disappearing from his body as he slowly stood. His head was whipped down with his bangs shielding his eyes. I became wide-eyed as he slowly descended from the dais and began to walk towards his mother, in a zombie-like fashion. Ezra looked over my shoulder to see his son and chuckled before turning back to me.
Now, be a good boy and chain this.
Oh, whoa! My voice caught in my throat as I witnessed the blade ramming through Ezra's chest, making him gasp and tremble in shock. Oh my god, did I get the- oh shit. Did I make the right choice then? I did, right? Oh my god. From behind her, Matthew lifted his head to reveal his tear-stained eyes. Oh no! As he held onto the blade that impaled his mother with a shaky grip, Ezra turned into her head to try to look at him. Matthew?
What?
I'm sorry, but I love her.
My heart swelled in both love and despair. This wasn't fair to him, but it was between me or her, and Matthew made his choice.
Seto.
Yo, this is fucked up! What the heck?
Goodbye, Mother.
With another word, Matthew pulled the blade out from Ezra's body and swung it around his head, cutting the large gash into her back and forcing her down on the ground. My body became my own again as I crawled back to her from her falling body. Ezra hit the ground and quickly went limp, lifeless at last. Matthew, however, gripped his blade and stared at what he had done, both in pain and shame. My heart began to cry for Matthew. He had struck down his own mother, once whom he loved with every part of his being. This undoubtedly impacted him hard, and I could never know what ran through his mind. I slowly stood and walked over, standing before Matthew as he dropped his blade and averted his gaze to the side. Oh, Matthew, no! Oh my god, what the fuck? I slowly raised my arms out to offer a hug instantly. Matthew pulled me to him and pressed his body against his, burying his face into my shoulder. I could tell that he was fighting back tears, but he couldn't stop himself from letting go. Pressing his forehead against my neck, all I could do was hold him and hug him with the same amount of force. It's over now. It's over. I ran my fingers through Matthew's hair, trying to calm him down. Eventually, he let his sadness out, making us both collapse onto the floor on our knees, gripping to each other tightly. His fingers dug into my shirt, pressing me even harder against his chest as he whipped against my shoulder. I, however, was silent, trying to take everything in. The Demon Lord was dead, and so was Matthew's mother. The war had essentially been won. As a soft rustle caught me and Matthew's guard, we turned to see Seto and Diana leaning against the far wall, slowly rising and leaning to each other to remain on their feet.
Well, that was interesting, to say the least.
Diana, don't say that! It's not the time! Matthew didn't speak a word as he looked away from Diana. Seto guided Diana over with his protective arm around her waist and looked down at us.
Matthew, I'm sorry for what you had to do.
I know.
However, you saved the woman you loved.
Matthew slowly turned to me and looked into my eyes as he did. His face was stricken with tears, but his expression became one of slow acceptance.
She has been your rock ever since you met her. If you had let your mother control you, I would have killed both you and her.
I know Diana would. She probably would have done that to, I guess, mercy for me, and then, to kill Matthew because of his mother. As harsh as her words were, I could understand why she said them. Matthew and I stared into each other's eyes as we took in what Diana said. She was right. I loved him, and I was happy to have him alive in my arms. That was all that mattered. I smiled and took his head into my hands, leaning in and pressing my forehead against his. We're alive, and we can go home now. Matthew slowly grinned and nodded, cupping my head and in his hands as well.
Yeah. We can go home now.
Dude, how are you smiling in this moment? Like, this is not I don't know. When the laughing laugh, oh my god, bounced between us, we finally let everything sink in. We were together, alive and in love. We had won, and we were going to return to the human world and be together for the rest of our lives. I barely noticed the gagging noise Diana made behind us.
Sarah, take me away from this. I'm feeling nauseous just looking at this.
She's cringing so hard. Oh my god. Seto, however, chuckled and guided Diana out of the room, waving his hand over the air before exiting completely. I looked around us. The room became vacant and any damage or death. There were no bodies or traces of blood. Matthew and I were alone to hold each other and wait until the horn sound of the war was officially over. Matthew pulled me close, resting his chin on top of my hair.
I love you.
I couldn't fight the smile that painted itself over my cheeks, and I nuzzled close to Matthew, relaxing at last. I love you too. It wasn't over. It was over. The war was finally over. As the smoke cleared, we were victorious. The soldiers left standing were the ones to cheer in victory. The sky became littered with the howls and cries of the joyful and happy. The tyranny of the Demon Lord had ended. But what now? Home was now possible. We could go back to the human world and we could live our lives as we wanted. It was something I desperately wanted, and yet my body was not ready to make a journey just yet. We had to celebrate success of the war, after all. If she knew I was staring at her, Diana looked over at me and slightly gestured her head to follow her. Alright, Diana, is she gonna do what I think she's gonna do?
I have to thank you, dear.
For what?
For aiding us in this war. We've been fighting the Demon Lord for so long. We thought the war would never end. As terrible as the circumstance was, if you hadn't been summoned here, we probably would have still been fighting now. To be very honest, I didn't expect to ever see you again.
I wasn't exactly counting on coming here. It's good to see you again, though. Diana stared wide-eyed at me, a small form of blush on her cheeks. What? It was true. I was able to see another side of her, one that wasn't cruel or ruthless towards me. I guess it was the real her, and I was happy to find out that she wasn't a terrible person after all. That's right. I love that Diana's like this, like her real self.
You do as well, my friend.
Yay, we're friends! Okay. Diana turned her body to me and held out her hand towards me. I smiled back and took her hand, gently shaking it before pulling her to me, surprising her. Are we hugging her? I wanted to hug her, so I did. Yay! I wrapped my arms around her body and felt her very slowly relax into the embrace. With a small breath and what I assumed to be purr, Diana wrapped her arms around me and hugged me back.
Well, you did it! Congratulations!
Yay!
You've made it to the end of your story. I have to say, I am very surprised at how it turned out. Nevertheless, I'm glad things worked out in the end. I never imagined that Matthew's own mother would go crazy and turn on him.
Yeah.
At least the Demon Lord got what he had coming to him. Anyway, Matthew's completely free now, and you got to return to the human world in the end. Anyways, you've been through a lot, so why don't we skip to... Huh? You want to know what happened after the war? Well, I mean, after the war was finished, the entire rebellion celebrated. Word spread far and wide about the rebellion's success, and soon every kingdom in the Abyssal Plains had become united with the new authority. You would think demons would be more hostile towards each other, being demons and all, but the threat of the Demon Lord was what brought the entire world together. The entire world united under one banner, the Lilith Crest. Diana became the sovereign of the entire plane, accepted and loved by practically everyone because of her devotion to the world and her bravery in the war. Seto, as devoted as ever, remained by her side as her loyal bodyguard. Diana became one of the most beloved rulers in all of
God damn it.
history. Her natural heart of gold led her to lead the world to a prosperous future, one filled with peace and happiness. The other rebel leaders supported her, eventually changing the caste system of the world and slowly working their way towards a plane as equal and peaceful as it could be. Diana had her suspicions, of course, as any monarch would, but if they had any sort of bad thoughts about her before, they certainly didn't during the recreation of the world.
Good, I'm glad, because when they were planning to kill her, I was like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
And I believe that is everything that happened after, well, except for your story, anyway. Matthew and you went back to the human world and had a peaceful night in your bed before moving on and getting married.
Peaceful night, my ass. Are you sure about that?
Huh? How do I know? Well, I have my ways. Maybe you should check it out.
Wedding day, which was rescheduled without issue, became as perfect as I imagined it to be. The ceremony was perfect and the reputation filled with the food, cake, and streamers, and everything was everything a perfect party should have. Our night became filled with both excitement, fun, and dancing, and the feeling of perfection as the realization of everything hit me. I was at last married to the man of my dreams. I can only go on about the wedding and our honeymoon, but honestly, after the war, I was more concentrated on living life afterwards. Our lives exploded possibilities after we officially became husband and wife. Matthew helped escalate the Anderson Toy Company to new heights with his brother as he became head designer for toys. Ah, yay! He began to pump out ideas after idea, becoming a masterful toy maker like my grandfather was. As for me, I began to go through my own success in life, deciding myself to become exactly what I wanted to be. After all, my husband was being a master toy designer. I put my same amount of work as I did into the demon world, then I was going to be okay. However, there was never a day that went by that I didn't think about what was happening in the Abyssal Plains. It was a heavy chapter in my life, one that we tested love between me and Matthew. The memories of our final fight with the Demon Lord and Ezra still haunted me slightly, but it only showed how much passion Matthew was keeping me safe and remaining his remaining as his own. I was blessed to have him as mine as after everything we've been through. Still, I was confident that we would get through and stay together no matter what came our way. Demon, devil, whatever, it doesn't matter to us. We were unstoppable together. A moment to myself was all it took to remember everything that went on during my time in the Abyssal Plains. It was a heavy part of my life and chapter I would never forget as long as I lived. Still, there were some fun moments while others would prove to me how strong I was and how strong the love me and Matthew had was. It was a blessing in disguise. I sat in the dining room looking over the multiple photos that were taken from our wedding. There were so many goofy smiles, embraces, and tear-jerking moments that spanned through every picture. I felt myself grin slightly of each one, remembering vividly each moment as it shot and captured the nostalgic euphoria. I almost wanted to go back in time to relive it all over again, just to feel the emotions run through me once again with the first time through. What do you think, Simon? I looked up at my furry friend, pointing at the image that managed to catch him jumping in front of the bridal carter in his first surprising human form. What? He has a human form? How he managed to learn that I would never know, but I was excited to have him as a guest instead of just my lucky charm. Simon wobbled from his spot, looking over the image that gave me a silly grin. It still looked a little evil, but I began to recognize which of his smiles were actually filled with ill intent and which were genuine. I giggled and slid it over to him, picking it off of the table and handing it to him and watching him sit back in his fluffy tail, looking at it in awe. I guess the pictures were still a wonder to Simon. Shaking my head, I began to slowly pile the rest of the images together, eager to store them away for the future and frame some of them up for the sake of memories. As I did, Matthew walked into the room, hands behind his back with a smile. Oh, hey, Matthew.
Hey, what you doing?
Oh, I was looking at our wedding photos. I got a bit nostalgic. You know? Matthew nodded and walked over, looking them over my shoulder. I, however, attempted to be sly and looking over his return to try to glimpse at what he might have been hiding behind his back. To my surprise, there was nothing there, making Matthew smirk and laugh.
Look, I know I have a nice butt. You don't need to try and sneak a peek at it, okay?
Oh my god, Matthew! I gave Matthew a playful slap on the shoulder as we both began to laugh wildly at the joke. Matthew was the first to calm down, wrapping an arm around my shoulder and continuing to look at the pictures.
Man, it's been like, what, a couple months since the wedding, right?
Yeah, how time flies. I laid my head on Matthew's shoulder, letting my emotion drift into the state of calm and serenity in his half-embrace. With a chuckle, Matthew lowered his head and kissed the top of my hair before nuzzling it with his cheek.
I still remember it. Oh, I was so nervous saying my vows.
Me too. It was like a dream from a long time ago. Both of us revealed in memory of us exchanging vows saying I do to one another. I could feel the rush of happy and realization wash over me as I affirmed it to myself. Matthew was my husband. Matthew grinned before kissing my temple and standing straight, placing his hands back behind his back once again. When he brought them forward, I was shocked to see him bring around a gift box, beautifully wrapped and tied with a bow. Aw, what is it? Huh? Matthew, what is this?
Something that I think you and Simon will like.
Simon perked up at the sound of his name, and I straightened up in my chair, now beyond curious what was in the box. As Matthew slowly unwrapped it, I gasped at what popped out of it. Oh, I thought it was him. I'm like, you're naked? Like, another doll? Bursting. Sorry, I don't know why. I just thought that it was just him, like, bursting. I can just imagine. Can someone please draw this? Matthew bursting out of the box naked. bursting from now, what on top was a fluffy doll that looked almost like Simon, but with a bow on its head and a cute curl in his fur. Looked around and hopped on the table, skidding over to Simon. Of course, Simon brandished his toy knife, but stopped as the doll came close and sniffed him, grinning at him and hopping around him excitedly. A couple of sniffs before Simon caused to do the same to his new...
I figured, since we're married and stuff, maybe it was time to get Simon a playmate of his own. You know?
Wait, I actually want to see what... Aw, she's kind of cute. Is this Simon's girlfriend now? I smiled as the two furry dolls bounced around each other, now excited for their new company, and stood, walking over to Matthew. He lowered the box and wrapped his arms around me, grinning down at me, and nuzzled his nose to his. You're absolutely the best, you know that?
I do my best for you.
Aww. Matthew raised his hand and brushed the strand of his hair behind my ear before cupping my cheek. I felt the warmth radiate from his hand, causing me to lean in and smile at him. I love you, Matthew. I love you so, so much.
I love you too. More than anything. And I'll always be here with you, working to keep a smile on your face.
That's so cute! I couldn't stop my smile from growing before leaning in and kissing Matthew lovingly, feeling my kiss back with the same amount of love and passion I had. He would always be here with me, and no one would be able to take him away. I would be here, arms wide open for him, and I would fill him with my love for as long as I lived. That was my perfect happily ever after. Yay! Good ending! I'm so glad that I got over that. God damn it. I'm really happy with how this ended. Scared for like 5 seconds that I made the wrong choice when I picked Seto earlier, but I'm really glad. That was a cute ending. That was really cute. Still though, this route was the one that confused me the most because I wasn't sure what to pick. Because with the, like I said earlier, like, it was easy for me with Eric and Sam, like, what was the right choice for their situation. But Matthew kept surprising me, which is why I get confused and I didn't know what was the right answer anymore. So, shout out to Michaela, again, for writing fucking Root. God damn it, so good. I'm really happy about this one. It really surprised me, because Matthew has surprised me since the first game, because he acts so differently from his brothers. So I believe there's one more bad ending, and I kind of want to see what it will look like, even though it'll probably break my heart, but yeah, you know, we're just gonna look at it and everything, see how it goes. Okay, so I think I got the true, like, bad ending, so let's see how this goes. I quickly looked over to see Diana with a knife embedded into her neck, multiple other knives puncturing her from her limbs in the back, but she had been splayed out with a barrage of daggers. Well, dude, okay, once again, why does everybody keep going for Diana's neck? What is this? Diana's body fell forward, landing in a disgusting thud before a fresh pool of blood began to drain from her onto the floor. In front of her, however, was a crazed-looking Matthew. His lips drew across his face an almost psychotic grin, watching Diana's body bleed out, and chuckled quietly to himself.
Now that is a perfect son.
Fuck. Matthew? Matthew turned his gaze to me, licking his lips hungrily.
Who's that? My name's Zekiru.
Couldn't believe my ears. What was happening? Why was Matthew doing this? Matthew cracked his neck and before licking his lips and calling out.
Racero. Uzeres. Omaris.
Whoa, wait!
Ezra.
Wait! Why is he calling his brothers? One by one, each of the Incubi brothers appeared in the throne, mid-swing from fight. But stopping in a new situation, my mind froze. They were separated from their wives now. What would be happening to the girls if their Incubi were here?
Matthew, what is the meaning of...
Dude, what the fuck is this? James didn't get to finish his sentence before a knife flew through the air and landed straight between his eyes with a terrifying thud. Oh my god, he's killing all of them! The blade ended protruding from the back of James's head as the light died from his eyes. Oh my god! James fell back and landed on the marble floor. That was looking at Matthew in pure shock.
You little fucker!
Sam ran at Matthew, raising his sword high. Matthew, on the other hand, bounced a knife in his hand and chucked it at his brother. Sam swerved him to the side to dodge it, but ran up against his vanishing image. Before my eyes, Matthew's new blade appeared in Sam's body, rammed through his back and his chest. I felt my heart sink into my stomach as I watched Matthew pull his sword back out and swung into Sam's neck, effectively beheading him. What the fuck?
2 down, boy!
Matthew laughed hysterically as he turned to face his remaining 2 brothers. I felt the need to run, but my legs wouldn't move from in their place in fear. Was the Demon Lord forcing me to stand there and watch? Oh no, not the bay! Oh, please do not! Don't do this to me! Oh my god! Eric surrounded himself with his tendrils while Damien formed his sword in his hand, both now broken over what their brother had done. This was a nightmare. The scent of blood was too real for that to be so. This couldn't be happening, no! Rolling his shoulders, Matthew began to walk towards Eric. In reply, the older brother shot his tendrils, aiming to skew his corrupted younger brother. The tendrils managed to find purchase, but Matthew's body quickly vanished as if he was never there. Eric looked around, panicked as I did. Where did he...
No!
I looked to Damien, seeing him horrified at the air above Eric. As I turned to see what Damien witnessed, I gasped. Matthew smirked down at Eric as the wall of knives between them, forming a ceiling over his older brother. As Eric finally looked up to Damien's cue, Matthew released a wave of letting the knife slice through Eric and pin his body to the ground. Dude, what kind of ending is this? Holy shit! I'm really glad I didn't get this one. I felt like screaming. I felt nauseous. However, my body wouldn't let me move. Why? I felt the strong hold on me, keeping me in place. I knew that the Demon Lord had to have been involved. Matthew landed on the ground and turned his head to Damien, who was both filled with anger and wrecked with tears.
Why? Why?
Oh my god, Matthew clicked his teeth before charging at Damien, sword raised. Damien effectively blocked his attack, but wasn't prepared for the display of knives that stabbed him in the back from behind. Dude, this is the most fucked up bad ending ever! What the fuck? The image of Matthew disappeared from in front of Damien while the real Matthew stood a distance away from his dying brother, bouncing a pair of knives in his hand with a chuckle.
That's for making me go to the human world.
What the fuck? At last, Damien's body fell onto the ground and soaked with blood alongside of his older brothers. Matthew stood amongst all of them, gazing at his work and chuckling. The Demon Lord let a proud laugh echo through the air.
Well done. You are more than deserving of my throne now.
You monster! I screamed at the Demon Lord, wild tears pouring down my face as my voice rang through the hall. The Demon Lord glared hard at me, making my body completely freeze. He was the one keeping me in place instead of letting me run or fight.
Your part is done, human. Sekiro, get rid of her.
I was quaking on the inside, but I had to watch as Matthew turned to me with a sickening grin. He formed his sword in his hand and slowly began to walk towards me. Matthew, no.
You keep saying that name, but I already told you. My name isn't Matthew. My name is Seto.
No!
And I am the true Demon King.
Dude, this is too fucked up. What the fuck is this? Oh my god. Michaela, what did you do to me? Oh my god. Dude, no. I don't like that ending. That is the worst one out of all of them. So far. I don't know about Damien and James's bad endings, but holy shit, that is the worst one. I didn't expect him to kill it, like, all of them. Oh my god, okay, I don't know why I keep ending these videos with the bad endings. This is a terrible idea. Well, if you guys enjoyed this episode of Seduce Me, remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you think about this ending versus the good one. I prefer Matthew coming out of the box naked ending rather than this. Anyway, guys, if you guys want to vote for the next route, which is between Damien and James, there's a poll in the description, so if you want to vote on that, and then whoever wins that I'll do next. And sorry, I'm very shook right now, like, what the fuck? I can't believe that was the ending. Like, that was Matthew's bad ending. Okay, well, I'm just gonna go lie down now, and I need therapy after this, so holy crap. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and did I even say that already? I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. I'll just see you guys in the next episode, okay? Bye!